Hello and welcome to our presentation in the virtual poster session for the Partnership for Clean Competition. My name is Dr. Timothy Makubuya and with my colleague, Dr. Haruna Mwonge. Our topic, prevalence of supplements, herbs, and doping products usage among Uganda's athletes was from a wider pilot study sponsored through the Social Science Research Grant and also supplemented by the University of Missouri, St. Louis. Our colleagues, Dr. Robert Zavuga and Dr. Samuel Lubega, also contributed to this study. The purpose of this study was to determine the prevalence of supplements, herbs, and doping product usage amongst Ugandan athletes participating in national and regional competitions for the sports of football, basketball, rugby, boxing, weightlifting, cycling, and athletics. You may ask why this matters, and we're going to give you a little bit of context about Uganda's current participation at the international stage. We have all seen a steady increase in participation of Uganda's athletes and an improved performance at key international level sports events, including the Olympics and World Championships. However, from our previous studies in Mwonge and colleagues 2015, as well as Mwonge and colleagues 2017, we found out that the level of anti-doping education is relatively low in Uganda, as well as the knowledge on sports nutrition being relatively low among Uganda's athletes. So, we employed a cross-sectional study design where we recruited 346 athletes, majority of whom were male. And these athletes, as I said, were from 7 sports that I earlier mentioned. And we subjected these athletes to a modified word questionnaire that was interviewer administered. And after collecting their responses, we entered them in SPSS and analyzed the data. And as we later see, we shall consider a p-value of less than 0.05 as a significant when we went into analyzing the different the relationships between the different variables. These are some of our main findings. We realize that Uganda's athletes are likely to consume some sort of performance enhancing substance during the sports season. And this was significant at a p-value of 0.005. We also found out that Uganda's athletes are more likely to consume sports drinks and carbohydrate shakes, as well as creatine and herbal products, in addition to caffeine. These were all at statistically significant p-values less than 0.05. The commercial influence on the usage of banned substances was high among athletes, 45% of those athletes compared to 43% of cyclers and 38% of weightlifters. Also, rugby players and soccer players reported the highest usage of anabolic steroids in the 12 months preceding study. So 19% of those rugby players and 13% of those soccer players reported the highest usage of those substances. And finally, rugby players and weightlifters acknowledge that it's fairly easy in Uganda to obtain performance enhancing substances through their peers. So, taken together, we found that although the prevalence of supplements, herbs, and doping product usage among its athletes in Uganda remains relatively low compared to what has been found elsewhere, we feel that timely mitigation of current usage levels, as earlier mentioned, is warranted through carefully designed
anti-doping interventions. Our findings also reveal gaps in sensitization of athletes and their peers on the short and long-term effects of banned substance usage.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.